Time for another episode of Pottawattamie County Roots. Hi, I am Todd Studer. Today, I am going to bring you a clip of one of my favorite podcasts that we do locally here called Circle of Trades. Our good friend Travis Waldstein, he has had this podcast now for close to 3 years. And there are well over 100 episodes that you can go back and watch. And often he is highlighting some of the different people that are in the area, also encouraging young people to consider the trades as an option as they make their way past high school and into secondary education. However, today I wanted to bring you a clip from the latest episode of Circle of Trades where Travis, he talks about AI and how that is affecting the trades. Also talks about technology and how it is affecting new safety regulations. And it's really a fascinating conversation. I had the chance to go down to his shop and in Council Bluffs, and take a look. Now, Travis covers all of Southwest Iowa, does a lot of work around with AirServe heating and air conditioning, and also Waldstein plumbing. But very, very knowledgeable, and always gives great tips on how you can save some energy when it comes to your HVAC system in your home. So let's go ahead, take a quick break here. And when we come back, we will be talking in this clip from Circle of Trades to Travis Waldstein, AirServe Heating and Air Conditioning and Waldstein Plumbing. We'll be back with that right after this. If you have a leak, a clogged drain, or even if you're planning a big remodel, Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs has you covered. With fast, reliable service and expert craftsmanship, handling everything from small repairs to major installations. They're locally owned and trusted and take pride in doing the job right the first time. Residential or commercial, big or finding the right care for a loved one can feel overwhelming. Assisted Living Locators is here to help. Jean Bonker brings more than 30 years of experience serving families and has personally navigated the challenges of elder care. She understands the questions, the emotions, and the weight of these decisions. Jean becomes your advocate, guiding you through options with clarity, compassion, and personal support every step of the way. Call Assisted Living Locators at 402-690-5467 and move forward with confidence. Well, you have seen a lot of advancements in technology over the years and over your career, and things operating more efficiently now, and in some cases, I think probably completely different than the way that they used to. So you talked about the safety features. I'm wondering, as the technology advances, does that change much with like OSHA regulations and things like that? Because now you've got new things that you have to be aware of in safety protocols. Is there a difference there, or is it pretty much the same?
Oh, it's definitely changed over. There's no doubt about it as far as protocols with OSHA and just for what we do. You know, and everybody talks about AI. The good part is AI is not going to dig up your sewer line. AI is not going to fix your water lines.
I just heard a podcast episode this morning talking about that very thing of in the trades, how much can AI replace the person? And their position was, when it comes to actual hands-on and doing things, AI is never going to be able to touch it. Because let's be honest, Travis, there's a certain art to what it is that you do. You have to have an understanding of each unique situation.
Mm-hmm.
AI is never going to be able to replicate that.
No, absolutely. You know, you're 100% right. We got a guy that we hired. It's fairly, I mean, he's been around trade for 30 years. His guy's name's Thad Schwab. He's from Glenwood, and he worked for another company, and he came to work for us. And the first house we had him do for one of our builders that we deal with, I walked into this house, and he made water lines and sewer lines look like art. I'm like, look at this. I'm going, that looks fantastic. I was like, and then of course Kelly, my installer, tried to one up him on the HVAC stuff because I gave him brownie points. She was like, yeah, it's like, why don't you guys do this all the time? And my guys do good work. So, but it's kind of like, wow. And even my builder, builder is Jim Duggan. He goes, I want him on every job. I go, yeah, I know. So, no, but there is definitely can be an art to it. You know, sometimes art you can see, sometimes you can't see it. You know, functionality is important, but you know, it can function, but it can look like crap too. But you know, if it functions and it looks good, people you walk into certain places, certain architecture, you might see water lines or sewer lines, or not sewer, well, you'll see sewer lines, but where they have exposed black iron or they have exposed, galvanized or whatever, and it's paint or whatever. And it looks good. It looks good. It looks like it fits in as part of it.
Right.
And that's when you kind of get to the creative side of that, to where if you have stuff exposed, it's like, okay, I'm proud for people to see this. I have no problem with it because it looks like it's what it's supposed to be. It's not tilted. It's not, farmer fixed. It's not jerry rigged. And listen, we see a lot of farmer fixed, and I say that growing a family farm in Northwest Iowa. I mean, I get it. But there's farmer fix and then, trying to do the right repair. But, back to the AI part, what I will tell you is, yeah, as far as the work in the field, AI is not going to take over, installing a furnace, installing AC. I didn't even say troubleshooting. I think where you might see some aspects of AI to where it might walk you through certain things. So let's say you got a tech support issue, and it might try to have you help eliminate. But at the end of the day, AI can't tell you that you have a shorter wire on a piece of equipment. It can't tell you that you have a freon leak. I mean, there's certain things. I think where you see it more is probably on the marketing piece. On the marketing piece, the other side to it, where you see it too, is on the CSR piece. Now, we use Avoca AI to complement for our answering service. For our gals in the office. And the reason being, on a day like today, where it's going to be 104 heat index and it's blazing hot, you're going to have, I got 3 gals and we could have 10 phones going at the same time.
Yep.
So, yeah, how do you handle the overflow? Well, yeah, I want to talk to a live person. And listen, with my AI, you want to talk to a live person, you just ask for a live person, you'll get a live person, whether it be my gals in the office or the service or whatever. But my point is, you have that ability to be able to have that care. And what it does, at least gets you in contact. It lets you know right away. You're not sitting on hold for 5 minutes. And then my office can sit right around and turn around and touch back base with you, and touch back base with the customer. And if you allow it to, it can even schedule you. Then my office can go back and confirm, or if we need to move something up or whatever else. So there's facets of it where AI will help. I think there might be reports over time, there'll be certain things it can look at from a analytical perspective. But as far as the people part of the trades, it is going to be like walking into the one I like to use is up in Seattle where my son works. My son works for Amazon. They got a store there up in Seattle. They have one person that's in there, and all they're doing, they're not even really stocking shelves, if that makes sense. They're not doing much of anything. So in there, they have one person that's in there at the door. Everything else is digital. You walk in, they have your card information file. You go pick up a orange juice or a lettuce or whatever it is on the shelf, and then you what's the word I want to use? Then you walk out. You don't go to a register. You don't do whatever. I mean, the cameras, they have all this stuff on, they have all this stuff available. So, it is a cool deal, but that's where your AI, you kind of take a look at where some of your you make the argument that with Amazon and Walmart.com, they're kind of taking the people point out of it because you're taking out the people at the cash register, but you still have to have people to stock the shelves. It's still going to get from point A to point B. So so as far as the AI part, I don't know. And then plus there's been some times, where AI has actually been counterproductive, to where they find out they went with AI and found out that maybe wasn't the correct answer. They say a lot of people use AI for writing law or maybe to do a contract. Well, they find out that maybe AI got some bad advice on Google and will put the wrong information.
It's not just that. And here's, because I have been doing a lot of research into this, and there's certain areas in my job that I use AI, but I have to be very, very careful with it. AI inherently, and I'm going to talk specifically about ChatGPT, which seems to be like the Kleenex of, AI. They have something inherently built into the system that they call comfortable conversation. And what that means is that it is designed to want to communicate with you in a way that feels like it is anticipating the next thing that you want to hear and the next answer that you want. So it will continue down that road, even though you didn't ask it to, and state things as facts, even though it's making assumptions. It's not truly facts, and it's not fact-based. And I'm not saying that it's lying. I'm just saying that it's mistaken. And it made the wrong judgment call based off the point A, point B, point C, put them all together, came up with the wrong conclusion. That is a real thing. And if you go digging into their terms of service, it'll talk about it. But most people think that if it says something, it's like Google, and it is telling you the absolute truth.
Well, X is notorious for that. I've seen that to where if you like ideology or you like certain things or whatever, it'll continue to point you in that direction, and maybe you don't want to see that. But you know, listen, I got this little black device that's here right now. It's probably hearing every word that I'm saying.
It is.
Yeah. And so it's like, I don't always want to see that. You know, I love UFC. I do. I think UFC is great, but I don't need to see it on every other reel. You know, I don't need to see it on every other deal. You know, maybe every 10th one or whatever. You know, I love college football. You know, there's certain things I love, but you know, even politically, I mean, I don't care if you're left or right or whatever, but you know, the algorithms can have you believe that your belief is right.
Yeah.
No matter what, you know. Well, Twitter says, well, you go to the next person who's on the other side of the aisle, and they can think, well, Twitter just said, well, you listen. There's enough information out here. You can make an argument for both sides. You know, of any argument. You know, let alone politics. So,
Well, I think that social media, just like just about other media industries, they're losing track of what their actual product is.
oh, 100%.
And they're starting to base success strictly off of numbers and how much money it is being generated. And when you do that, you lose track of what your product is. For me personally, I look at my success at generating revenue as a metric that tells me whether my product is being successful or not. The adjustment shouldn't be made to raise more revenue. It has to be in the product. You, just like everybody else, they don't want to hear nothing but advertising. It's why on my shows, I have a limit to how many advertisers that I will have on a show, because after a while, it just becomes, you know, it's too much. And with the recent layoff of iHeart and everything else, I just did a show on it that, you know, talked about they're on the wrong path, and they are completely misunderstanding what their product always was.
I think they're on their way to being broke, you know, going broke as far as iHeart goes.
Well, that particular branch of the industry, yes. Now, their podcast division, I think, is doing very well because that is the future. Their radio division, though, cannot succeed.
Well, if you take a look at it, I'm a huge Iowa sports guy, so I listen to your show. I do podcast. I can't say I can't remember the last time I've listened to the AM or FM side of the radio. I really can't. So, I usually have YouTube on. I'll play, I'll watch your show, or I'll do like the Morning Rush with Travis Justice or Ross Peterson, or there's some other shows that they've had. Iowa Everywhere does some podcasts, they listen to that are Iowa guys that are covering Iowa State stuff that's going on in the state of Iowa. Of course, a lot of them like to make fun of Nebraska too. Of course, I like to make fun of Nebraska, but actually, no, it's kind of funny. But yeah, and all just that they're taking periods to where they've been the sound pieces or mouths have been the sound of whatever that community is, and iHeart saying, no, we don't need it. We're going to do a syndicated show out of Los Angeles or whatever, and we're just going to cover the Lakers and the Rams, and that's going to be your sports talk because that's what everybody wants to hear. Or maybe that goes away altogether as well. I think people want to be entertained. People want to listen. People want to learn. Sometimes people want to listen to music. Hey, I got YouTube music. I get it. So, my music's probably older than a lot of people's.
Still to this day, there is something inside of traditional broadcasting that is called issues and concerns, and they are required by law from the FCC in order to serve the communities in which they are in. They are required to do that. And anybody can go into any media outlet, radio or television, and ask to see their public file on issues and concerns, and they are required to make quarterly reports saying what it is and how it is they're serving the community. Here's the story. Here's specifically what we did, and they have to have 10 of them in there every quarter. Now, you've got some guy sitting in a studio that may just be in his walk-in closet. Who the heck knows where he's at? And he is on 50 different radio stations at the same time, being fed a script of what to say for that specific radio station. Well, if I am talking about, let's say I'm talking about Grand Island, Nebraska, where I don't live.
Yeah, I know.
I have no experience there other than driving through it on the interstate. Yeah. And I talk specifically about something going on in Grand Island. Is there any heart attached to that? Is there any emotional connection to that? Because I don't live there. That's the problem, and that's what they don't see. And it is a form of AI that they're using to be able to produce different radio shows because they think that the radio itself is the product, and it's not. It's serving the community. That is the product. I'm getting off topic.
No, but still, I like to say that because I think with what you're doing, with what you're doing with your podcast stuff and what you've tried to set up and build, you take a look at someone like Chris Williams who did the Iowa Everywhere, and he's got his shows that he does that are on it, and people want local content. That's the thing that you bring, to Council Bluffs and to the community deal. It's local content, and the nice part, unlike me who doesn't know how to shut his mouth. Yeah, I won't get into politics today. I will not go there. Oh, I could, but you ask the questions, but you spend and you let the people decide. Unlike me, I gave you my opinion whether you like it or not. So
you are the people. You're among the people. I mean, I have you on the show not because I'm trying to get you to feed into my opinion. I have you on the show because I want to hear what you have to say. And you, just like any other resident of this area, should have a voice. And, okay, here is my opinion. You can agree with me. You can not agree with me. I know you're a big believer in that you don't care whether somebody agrees with you or not. But, you also care that, hey, this is what I believe and why I believe it. And I think this forum where we're sitting right now, or with the shows that I do, it's a great forum for that. It's a great platform for it. What if your healthcare provider came to you? Me to You is an Iowa-based in-home primary care practice, bringing personalized medical care directly to your home. Especially helpful for people who have difficulty getting out. Me to You serves patients of all ages, from children through end-of-life care, from wellness visits and chronic disease management to preventative care and advanced care planning. That means less time traveling, less time in waiting rooms, and more time where it matters most. Learn more at metoyou.care or call 641-843-8405. Primrose Retirement Community in Council Bluffs believes home should be a place of comfort, connection, and care. From personalized support to engaging daily activities, everything they do is designed to help residents live fully and confidently. At Primrose, that's their priority, to put the quality of their residents' care and daily needs at the top of their list each day and every day. It's not just about where you live, it's about how you live. Learn more about life at Primrose by going to primroseretirement.com and then contact Jamie Bush at Primrose and discover a place that truly puts people first. So there you go, a clip from Circle of Trades. You can find it on YouTube. You can also follow him on social media and on his Facebook page. There is a Circle of Trades podcast Facebook page that you can search for. We're posting episodes there as well. Or if you would just like the audio only version, you can hear that on Spotify. So all of these different things are available. And I encourage you to watch Circle of Trades and also any of the other local podcasts that are coming out of this area. There's quite a few, and there's some people doing some wonderful work. And as I said, I would encourage you to watch those, pay attention to what's going on in our little corner of the world. That wraps up today's show. Thank you so much for being a part of it. My name is Todd Studer, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.